Hi there, this is Sharmin Sultana and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be talking about English learning specifically, and in this channel I am going to debrief about a lot of things when it comes to English learning. English learning can seem to be a bit complicated and a bit messy sometimes, and I have this feeling because I have been teaching students for 4 to 5 years now, especially for people who are from Asian countries. For them, English learning seems so complicated, so hard, and that's because of various reasons which are not really much big of a thing. So in this channel I'm trying to decode all those problems and bring up a solution to you guys which will help your English learning journey be much easier. It's not really that hard to learn any language, but English specifically is much easier. Today we are going to be talking about speaking in English very confidently even if you're shy. So these videos that I'm going to be uploading at the beginning are going to be the base of learning English. So this is one of the base techniques and advices that I'm going to give you. So first thing first, you need to know there is no wrong in a language. So unless you're not expressing your thought the way you want to express, it's not wrong. So don't think that, oh, I'm not using the proper grammars, I'm not using the proper words and all of that. All of that comes later. And to be honest, especially in English, if you think about all the people who are, native English speakers or who speak English on a regular basis, you will find very few of them who are using proper grammar and all of that stuff. Most of it doesn't have proper grammar by book. So you have to understand that very early on and realize that it's not necessary for you to speak proper grammar. So why are you not being able to speak in English? It's the fear that you're going to make a mistake. What kind of mistake? Grammatical mistakes. So knowing the fact that most of the people are not using proper grammar at all, you should not have the fear of making grammatical mistakes. It doesn't matter. You just have to make sure the things that you want to say, you are being able to say it or convey the message to the other person by your words. That's all that matters. You need to know that people are not speaking perfect English, they're speaking comfortable English. So whatever is, taking their thoughts and their whatever they want to relay to the other person, if the words are taking it to them, that's all that matters. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect English, it's just comfortable English. That means that by using any kind of words in any kind of way, you are just relaying the message that you want to relay to them. Another thing that you have to know is that at the beginning, when you are talking to other people, it might seem a bit hard. Like, you might not be able to relay your messages very properly, because it's your first time speaking in that language, right? So there are a few phrases and few ways. I think these sentences you can just keep it by heart so that you can use them just to excuse yourself for a moment while you get your thoughts correctly in your head. It's like, give me a moment to think about it. Like, give me a moment. Like, you're taking a moment, you're borrowing that moment from them for you to be able to think properly and then relay it to them. And then you can also say, let me explain. So suppose you said something and they didn't quite get your idea of what you're trying to say. So you just start a sentence with, let me explain, and then you try to explain it in a more elaborated way, that, okay, let me explain, actually I'm trying to say this is this and this is that. In that way, they actually give you the time, and they actually stay there, and they are trying to know what you're trying to say. And you also take some time to yourself, and you are trying to organize your thoughts, and when you start saying in a more elaborate way, they are also prepared to listen from you. So these are the phrases that you can use in a conversation to take some time to yourself, and also let the other person know that, okay, I'm going to be taking some time, and I am just glad that you understand. Okay, now the biggest question comes in, that how do I actually get over it? Like, by doing these things, you take some time to yourself during the conversation and all the stuff, but how do I actually, be a proper speaker? How do I actually gain that confidence? And there is a very old school answer to it, which is you have to speak. I have been teaching English for 4 to 5 years now, and this is something I do on the side. I'm actually an architecture student, and most of my students are from Asian countries, and their first language is not English. And we just complicate the whole thing about English learning. Like, it's not even as difficult as learning other languages in this world. Like, I have tried learning other languages and it's so hard. There are so many rules, there are so many stuff going on, and I get overwhelmed. But comparatively, English is so much easier. English is probably much more easier to learn than your own native language. So what you have to do is actually jump into it. Like, and make a consistent routine. I cannot stress enough about it. You need to have a consistent routine to be able to understand your flaws and where you're making the mistakes and how you're not going to be making the mistakes again. So all of that is very, very important. Consistent routine, showing up every single day, and again and again I'm trying to emphasize on this fact that you don't have to have proper grammar. Like, it's not even a thing anymore, to be honest. If it's only, conversational English, if it's acads, and if you want to be good at writing and all of that, I think you need a little bit better grasp on the grammar. But other than that, you don't need to. Like, do not stress about it. I think first you have to let go of the fear that you are making grammatical mistakes. Only then you will be able to start building that confidence that, oh yeah, let me speak, or let me start speaking, and all of that. That was it for today's video. I know it's a very basic video with very basic advices, but I think that it's very important that I start with a very basic advice, because to be honest, this basic issue is what is stopping a lot of people from speaking English outside or with even other people. So it was very necessary I address it, and it's fine. Like, if you want some elaborate solutions to your problem or anything that you're facing issues with, please do let me know, and I'll try to make a video on that as well. So yeah, I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.